In order to build a rewarding employee experience, you need to understand what matters most to your people. This human resource quote, which comes from the CRO of Rise People, Julie Bevacqua. She says if you want to build a better company culture and working environment for your employees, you go straight to the resource and ask your people what they want and need. A very warm welcome to all the viewers and welcome back to the session of series based on human resource management. This time I'm going to be talking about the role of human resource management in an organization and also its importance. In my last video, we have seen what are the changes which has taken place over a period of time. The changes has occurred in the external environment as well as the internal environment of the organization. The changes has occurred with the people who are working in the organization as well as the demands of the employers. We are exactly going to see the same in this video. So let's see how HR role has changed. The human resource has now a dual role to play in an organization. They have to play a role of a change management. That means they have to lead the change as well as they have to act a facilitator for the change. This means that if there are certain policies, certain procedures that the employee wants to bring in change, the human resource department has to give it a thought. This means that they should lead the change. Also, through them, the employee should be comfortable enough to bring in some kind of flexibility in the rules and regulations of the company. Not only this, they have to be more strategic now. They have to align with the business objective. As we discussed earlier, that a person working in an organization will have an individual objective, but they always should be in accordance with the objectives of the organization. Ultimately, both the employer as well as an employee should be in a win-win position. Talent retention is something that the human resource management has to consider. They have to first of all understand what kind of skills and capabilities does their employees possess, how they can polish the same, and thus they can utilize their talent in the overall production procedures of the organization. They have to act as a marketers now. That means they have to market their strategies, they have to market their products, services, they have to market their policies to their internal customers who are the employees of the organizations. That's how they will attract a good talented people in their organization. They have to be the designers. They have to design their pathway for the employees in such a way that they will not only progress and shine, but they will also reflect in the overall image of the organization. Supply and demand experts they have to be. Human resource management has to look in for the people who are best suitable for the kind of the job that they are looking for. So we have seen a kind of role of human resource management so far. What is it that the human resource management expects from the employees now or they have to concentrate upon? One most important thing that I mentioned is a lifelong learning. You cannot stop learning. You have to learn new things throughout your life if you have to progress yourself. Employment potential has changed. Employees have to look at the potential. They have to think of what talent that my staff possesses. And that's why they have to be flexible enough to make the full utilization of this particular potential. The talent that bring in with diversity of your team is too vast, and if that is been utilized properly, definitely the company is now going to progress. We have to look at women as leaders. There are companies who definitely prefer women as their leaders and succeeders. More diversity in case of not only culture but in case of thinking, which brings in a particular company, and the objectives of those companies are become stronger, and the team makes it an effort to make sure that they reach these objectives with their teamwork, and unity. As I said, we have to build the leaders and the successors, and that becomes the major role of the human resource management. They have to retain the staff and they have to make sure that the staff or the employees share their knowledge, they share their experience with the company, and that's how they can bring up the company. Attractive working conditions is the most important thing that they have to look for now. They have to make the working conditions suitable and not only suitable for the employees, but may have to make it such attractive that the employees would want to retain or sustain with the company and that they will show more and more productivity. Definitely, as I said, technology is changing, and even in human resource management, iPhones and iPads have been used, and this is used to connect with anyone and who's sitting across the globe at any time. And that's what we also discussed in my last video is what we call it as a big data. Let's now have a look at the definition of HRM. Definitely, you don't have to mug it up, but there are certain key terms that you need to note them down. So, human resource management is the management process of procuring, developing, compensating, and maintaining the human force of the organization, as well as achieving the individual and the organizational or the societal objectives. The key terms in this particular definition is the management. We often use the term management, facility management, or we say human resource management. These are the different terms that we often use. So, management is nothing but there are certain specific procedures that we follow in the management. As far as human resource is concerned, these procedures could be procuring a job, procuring the people for a job. Once you procure them, you need to develop their skills in that particular job. When you are keeping them with the company, you have to definitely compensate the people for the kind of the job they are doing and maintain this workforce, which will definitely help them for an individual objective, also for an organizational objective. This is what exactly I have shared in my next slide. So, human resource management can be achieved through well planned procedures, well organized staff or the activities, properly directing your staff so that they go on the right path and attain their goal, and of course, controlling their activities from time to time so that they do not deviate from their goal and with the help of time management they reach their goal in a proper manner. Some of the activities that are involved to attain these goals are recruitment, that is, recruiting the right person for the right job at the right time. Next is development, that is, developing their talent, giving them the scope to enhance their skills, and of course, to polish their skills to come up with new ideas. Motivate them from time to time because in life you always will have ups and downs, you will always have a situation where you get demotivated. That's the time the leaders have to act and they have to continuously motivate their staff so that they work with full energy. And for all this, definitely a person needs something in return, which is the proper salary or the incentives against the kind of the job which is being done in the company. So, human resource management typically takes care of these activities in their department. This can be attained and this can be useful or helpful to attain a personal goal. Every person has an individual goal. For that matter, for you students may have a goal of being a general manager 10 years down the line or a departmental manager 10 years down the line, or probably want to settle abroad in the next 2 or 3 years when you pass out. So these are certain personal goals that I have mentioned. Also, an organization will always have organizational goal. They will always want to sustain in the market, compete in the market, and hence get more and more productivity. So, all these activities helps them to attain their personal goals, to step up in the ladder, as well as to attain the company goals. Human resource management today bears the entire responsibility of converting the employees, the one that they have hired, into strategic business partners. So employees today are not considered only as people who just work in the organization. In fact, they are considered as a strategic partners. They are considered as the internal customers whom the company has to look after or has to care in a better way, so that people also feel that they have been valued in the organization and that their talent is respected and their time and their values are respected, so that they work even in a better manner for that particular company or the organization. Some of the importance of human resource management that I would like to mention here is that they have to make the maximum utilization of the resource. We already mentioned in the beginning of the video that human resource is the most important resource, and if that has been used in an effective way, definitely it will progress the company. They also have to maintain a proper balance between the available job and the job seekers. This they do with the help of their recruitment process. They have to put up an advertisement and they have to make sure that the right kind of applicants apply in the company, and the whole process of the recruitment becomes a proper and a well planned activity. They have to provide the suitable and the most productive employment which gives job satisfaction. Sometimes people would definitely like to bargain with the kind of financial remuneration that they get, but end of the day, if you are satisfied with your job, that gives you immense morale, that boosts up your morale in a very better way. Providing the healthy work relationships. Nowadays, the relationship between the employer and employee are not very stringent. They are friendly, they are healthy. People from all levels of organization are open to talk to any level of organization, and that the procedures are transparent so that work can be performed effectively. Maintaining the dignity of the employees as human beings, which is very most important. While we are working in any company, we have to also think of the work life balance. We also have, as I said, ups and downs in our life, and if we are not treated as basic human beings, if we are not shown sympathy and empathy as the basic values, we would never want to work in that kind of an organization. Improving the employee working skills and capacity. Every person has a capacity to, sustain or to improve or to develop. But enough opportunities should be provided by the company, and this is possible with the help of different trainings which are been given to the employees. Providing maximum opportunities for development. Sometimes promotion helps, sometimes transfer helps, sometimes people have been given a particular task or project within the company so that they develop, or so that they are motivated enough to work towards the betterment of themselves as well as for the company. Proper allocation of work to people and to avoid any kind of wrong postings. As I said in the definition itself, hiring a right person for a right job is very important. Creating a very right attitude among the employees through effective motivation. The human resource management team has to be always on their toes, has to look after their staff in and out, and has to check if their motivation levels are high enough to perform well in the organization. So this is some of the importance of human resource management which I mentioned here. We have now come to the end of the presentation. I have mentioned some of the references that I used in this presentation on this particular slide. I thank you for watching this particular video based on importance of human resource management. There is a quiz link that I have provided in the YouTube description box. Please click on this quiz link for some more inputs and information about the human resource management. I shall come up with more videos in my next session.